But I will say no other words about this, guys. Let's go ahead and head into our best of 3. A laser versus B, spawning in the top left corner of Lost Hope. It is your blue Infernal player, a laser.
And his opponent down in the lower left here, the Celestials player in the red. It is at 3D Clans B. And I just want to point out that the names are in the right spot relative to the players.
Oh my.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nothing better. All right, so B getting that first creep camp there, killing those slimes. And actually, this kind of confirms a little bit of something for me. Where is the prism? Where is that? What is it doing? Why is it damaged?
Because the Hexen was hitting it. So it ran away to get away from the Hexen, which I believe just warped home. But yeah, that Hexen doing a little harassment already, causing some lost mining time.
I miss it. Love this building placement here by a laser near the health camp.
Oh, that's really nice.
He's gonna just leave the. Yeah, he's leaving the fell hogs. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, he was just like actually.
He gets it down to that last slime. Yeah.
Just let him finish it off. Then he can go start working on the center earlier. Really using his time wisely here is a laser.
Yeah. Fantastic. Going into a conclave already. Now, that is to be expected. The Celestials can go for a very, very early Seraphim rush. So you do want to have a conclave down. I don't necessarily expect him to make gaunts out of this. Maybe he will. But just having it available in case there are some Seraphim that start to appear. Usually a good decision. Just here, not caught without anything that can shoot up. We've seen how disastrous that has been for some other games.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it looks like B not going to go for it. He's actually rushing that rollout from Kree here. We've already got 2 Kree on the map. B activating that Sovereign's Watch, trying to get those Brutes and Hexen out of here. Those Fiends do manage to slip up into the main. We'll steal that flower. Still no expansion here from a laser, who does in fact make some gaunts there. So he's going to try to be a bit aggressive, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems to just be wanting to put the pressure on right now, and he looks like he's going to send the Fiends in the main base, maybe try to distract B a little bit, as he's also pushing up this ramp. The Sovereign's Watch is over. That was placed on that creation chamber earlier on.
Yep.
And yeah, Laser's trying to get in here.
He could decide to go for it again here, but that would put him into red energy. I think he wants to try to avoid that. Try to get as many Kree out as possible. Now, of course, the Kree, bonus damage versus light. So they are going to try to jump on top of those gaunts there. They will find some pretty nice connections, but not enough to take them out. Good micro there from a laser.
Yeah, really nice micro to keep those alive. B trying to get on top of them, and his creation chamber looks like it might fall. There's the Sovereign's Watch. It looks like it'll save it for now. And I do think the Fiends in the main went down, so not something B has to worry about. He can bring all the Kree down here. They are rolling. They're going to get on top of these gaunts once again, get a couple more hits as more Kree come down. And this is starting to look really nice for B. I think he is going to be able to hold this for now. I say that, but a laser has some reinforcements coming in. Another Brute, a few more gaunts, and those last couple of Kree will go down. And suddenly B is in a rough spot. He does still have some Kree on the low ground that are trying to take that camp and maybe get some healing done.
Bit of a precarious position here, as now a laser can just try to jump onto these power banks here. He is going to respect the Sovereign's Watch, though. And I noticed he's not trying to get as much damage as possible by splitting these Brutes into Fiends. Of course, versus the Kree, that would be a horrible decision, because it does turn those guys into light, and the Kree really makes short work.
Oh, look at B's position with this Kree.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's so nice. And a laser's like, where the hell is this?
Yeah,
they will finally find it.
Found it. Yeah.
But that just bought a lot of time. B is going to be able to make a couple more Kree, because then he's going to come in and try to take this fight before the health camp is in a laser's favor. And a laser doesn't quite have the micro potential here he had in some of the previous fights.
Yeah, he gets all those gaunts there, but look at the reinforcements here from a laser. There's just so many units coming out here. He's down one creation chamber. He's got another one in the back now. He's got two, in fact, over at the third base from B. He's just got to try to get up to this critical mass that he's looking for here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, we have an effigy dropped at the front here for a laser as he's pushing into this natural base, and I feel like if he starts taking these buildings down, it's just going to be really the snowball effect here where B is not going to be able to keep up production.
I mean, if this surround of Kree is not enough to do it, then I don't know what is. Those Kree getting a really wonderful angle on all of a laser's units, but it just doesn't seem like they're able to do all that much damage. Completely skipping Argents here, maybe a bit too risky for B. And a laser, this high pressure style, but he's so committed to this. I mean, again, still no shrine going down here. He's only on 1 vault, or sorry, 2 vault and 1 conclave. He's just all of his money he's spending to send it across the map. He's banking 300 Ethereum.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, he needs to get some damage done here. He almost gets the collection array in the main with just a few fiends. He might be able to target that down in a little bit. But right now, he's just pushing back into the natural again. B is desperately trying to hold on. The supplies are still fairly similar. I just don't know if these Kree are going to be able to do it and turn the tide. B has just not been able to get enough of them. And they're so low now.
This is the problem when your army is pure melee only. Every time you go into an engage, even if it's favorable for you, you're going to take damage. It's guaranteed. Whereas a laser, he's got a little bit of area that he can kind of micro these gaunts back, try to save them from taking too much damage, and it will be too much for B at the end there, as a laser is going to take game number 1.
Yeah, really nice 1 base play there from a laser, and we've seen him on that map stick with 1 base. And I do wonder if he's just playing kind of against the grain on that map. People might assume it's just macro time, and he's like, actually, no. No, how about not macro time?
Yeah, I don't know what his decision making on that is for Lost Hope specifically, but you're right. We've only seen him do 1 base plays on that map consistently. He's not really gone for any sort of macro situation. Maybe he just feels like Celestial macro might be a little too favored on that map, since they're able to move their collection arrays and take bases so much easier than Infernals is. I'm not quite sure. I don't feel like it's a bad map for Infernal. Like, I feel like it's fine. But yeah, I mean, maybe a laser just disagrees and goes, nope, you have to 1 base on that map, otherwise you're just gonna lose.
It's hard to say. He's a very good strategy player. He's been doing this a long time.
Do I think the gold nerf on creep camps did anything? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I do for sure.
Yeah.
We're seeing people expanding a lot more in these games. I mean, I know we literally just watched a 1 base game, but that was clearly an all-in. He only creeped 1 camp total, and then just went across the map.
It does. It feels
seeing
a little bit more balanced, where before it felt like if you were the person that got map control and you were just able to creep as much as you wanted, there's almost no coming back from that, right? Whereas now it's still an advantage, of course, but it's not as big of an advantage. I do think that's important.
Yeah, for sure. I think that by extending, like like creeping is just slower now all around. Like it's at every stage you're just not able to do it as quickly. What we were seeing in the previous patch was like your first 2 units could go around and creep almost every camp if you had really good micro.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no, you actually have to commit more units to doing that. So people are starting to expand a lot more often. Like the normal, I think, macro opener for Infernal seems to be now like make 1 vault and then go make a base. Where before it was like, nah, make 2 units, creep like 3 camps, and then you can go ahead and take your shrine. Because beforehand, it was just a net negative to not creep. Like if you weren't creeping, you were just not making enough money. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into game number 2 here. And once again, the player labels are on the correct sides. I'm just so happy. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map here on Secluded Grove, spawning in as your red Celestials player. It is from 3D Clan B.
And his opponent in the upper right, our Infernals player. We'll see if he sticks with the one base plan in this game. It is Elaser.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, creeping is still a vital part of the game if it goes into the macro stage. But I don't think it has to be as insanely focused on as it was before.
Yeah.
Like, you're still clearly incentivized to do it, right? It's money on the map, and you want the money. But you also can't just rely on it fully to support your economy completely. You still need to expand if you're going to go into a more macro game. Like it's just
it feels like a much more balanced position for it now. I like how it's been tuned so far, where it's definitely still an important part of the game, but maybe a bit less vital to every single moment of the game. We are still seeing a lot of these creep camps taken very early, and again, it's still
well,
good.
there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. What else are you doing?
There's nothing else to do at the like what we would do in StarCraft 2 is kind of just sit at home with your Zerglings or whatever units. Maybe you do a scout, maybe you'd attack a building like a few times, and it's like, all right, well, I'll just sit back at home and just kind of chill for now. B, though, it looks like not satisfied with how game number 1 went, so gonna go into the game number 2. Very similar looking strategy. This time, though, that first Morph Core becoming the Creation Chamber, so a much faster Creation Chamber, a quicker Guardian Nexus as well, but a laser, the cheeky devil, scouts that straight away with that Fiend.
Yep, he's going to dive into the main. He's going to see the second Creation Chamber here, see what the situation is on B's side of the map. And B was busy trying to deal with the creep camp, which means he has a super low Cree right now, so he actually can't go up against those Fiends at the moment.
No, he definitely can't. Second Creation Chamber going down in the main, and this is interesting. So last game we saw the Creation Chamber at the natural. This time, though, just focusing on Prism production. So obviously the Prism's way more mobile. You can kind of just fly them out. Very easy to save. And not as committed, right? Like, Creation Chamber Collection Array goes down. Kind of a pain in the butt to move it. Prisms, though, they just glide right by him.
Now we have a bit of a skirmish here over at the forward buildings from B, as it looked like the laser's trying to take him down. B trying to go for the defense here, but a ton of Gaunts show up. Those Fiends are coming back in now. He wants to take down that Guardian Nexus. This is looking really dicey for B already.
Yeah, and that's actually just going to be it. I mean, losing that Guardian Nexus completely there, B is just going to get knocked out of game number 2. Didn't make another shrine, so sticking with that one base here, that committed pressure, going for those early game Kree, I just feel like, I don't know, like maybe if a laser was more happy to stay on his side of the map, go for the shrine, like then maybe we could see a normal game, but just going one base versus one base, it seems like versus Infernal, not going to be able to do it if you're just going to be making those Kree there.
Yeah, GG. A laser gets the
GG.
2-0 victory and will be our first finalist.